Yo guys, what's going on? I'm Tim Kelly. This is The Real Sports Talk. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'm going to make a bunch of NBA videos reacting to the Heat winning the NBA Finals. There's already one up of Akeem Balaam, KJ Zekman, Justin Godsey, and I responding to the Heat winning the NBA title. It's about an 18 to 20 minute video with our thoughts on pretty much everything that went down in the entire series. And I wanted to make a few separate videos where I talk about a few different things. I'm going to make one about what this means for LeBron's legacy, but that one's a bit more of a project. That one involves going a little bit more in depth because you're going to get people that get butthurt about the video, so I'll wait on that one a little bit at least. I wanted to make one about Tim Duncan though, because down the stretch of this game, Tim Duncan had a chance to tie the game with a layup that he missed. A wide open layup that Tim Duncan has made a ton of times in his career, thousands of times in his career. He had a chance to tip it back in, and he missed. And a lot of people have hit me up on Twitter and hit me up on my YouTube inbox and asked me exactly what do I think about Tim Duncan's performance in this NBA Finals. Did he hurt his legacy by losing the NBA Finals, and then by making or missing that shot, did he hurt his legacy in any way? And I understand the people that think that he may have smudged it a little bit. This is the first time that he's ever lost an NBA Finals. I understand that. The problem is Tim Duncan is 37 years old, and in the NBA Finals, he just absolutely balled. He had two 24-plus point games back-to-back to end the NBA Finals. At age 37, to still be performing at this level, I look at the guy as a top 10 all-time player, and really someone that has done everything the right way. And I don't look at it as he choked. He's won 4 other NBA titles. He's been a huge part of a bunch of championship teams and a bunch of great Spurs teams. And unfortunately, things just did not go his way this time. And that happens in sports. People like to overanalyze every little thing. And like I said in the other video, if LeBron James did this, we'd be going absolutely insane on LeBron James. I think the difference is Tim Duncan has never had any problems in the NBA Finals. He's won 4 NBA titles in 4 tries prior to this. And in this last case, and he's going to kill himself for this, not literally, obviously, but this is going to fuel him in the offseason. It's going to burn for a few weeks, a month, and then even into the offseason training and into next season. But it's going to fuel him. I don't see any chance that Tim Duncan retires. He still has a ton left to give. And I think that he does have a chance with the Spurs to win another NBA championship and really make up for this one. But the bottom line is that, to me, he did not do any damage to his legacy. I think, if anything, the fact that at age 37, he was able to get back to the NBA Finals and still be this part of a Western Conference Finals team that took LeBron James, who, whether you like it or not, is the best player of this generation. He took him to 7 games. I think when we look back at it in the long run, we're going to kind of look back and say that, you know what, Tim Duncan, to be able to do that at age 37, obviously Danny Green prior to Game 6 and 7 had a great series. Tony Parker had some great moments. Manu Ginobili had a big Game 5. I mean, Kawhi Leonard had a great series. It wasn't like he didn't get any help in this series or that he was the lone star. But he had a tremendous NBA Finals again, and I think we need to give Tim Duncan the proper credit for what he has done in his career. I think when it appeared with 28 seconds left in Game 6 that the Spurs were going to win the NBA Finals, I remember thinking, you know what, it's going to be all about LeBron James losing the NBA Finals and the Miami Heat, how much of a disappointment it is or how much of a disappointment they are because they didn't win the NBA championship in everyone's mind. But I think when we look at Tim Duncan, it felt fitting in Game 6 that he was going to get a lot of praise because he had a 25-point first half. Kind of fell off in the second half, but to be able to do that at age 37, it felt right for Tim Duncan to have won this in 6 games. And unfortunately, that didn't happen. I didn't get to make that video responding and just giving a lot of love to Tim Duncan, who's a guy that has never really gotten it. I think in this era, we've loved to give credits. In the time that he's played, we think about some of the great players. Michael Jordan at the end of his career, Kobe Bryant, Shaq, Allen Iverson, Tracy McGrady, Kevin Garnett, LeBron James now. I mean, we've loved to give Dwayne Wade. We've loved to give these guys credit, and we will gladly place them above some of the NBA all-time greats, rightly so. But I think in the case of Tim Duncan, we don't respect enough what he's done because he plays on a team that is considered boring by some. I think that they just kind of ended that speculation with their performance in this NBA Finals. And, I mean, they're a fun team. I don't have any problem with watching the Spurs. If I had to watch this NBA Finals again next year, I'd be more than happy to see the San Antonio Spurs back. And I just think that rather than hating on Tim Duncan or trying to besmudge his legacy, I think that this is something that should put it into perspective for us. And it might take a couple days of sitting back to realize what an accomplishment it was for Tim Duncan. And I think in a lot of sense it goes for Greg Popovich too, because of some of the coaching mistakes that he did have in Game 3 did prove to be almost fatal, like this Tim Duncan potential missed layup. But when we look back in a few days, we'll realize what a great job both of them did throughout this season and throughout their careers. And the fact that they're both legends who just lost their first NBA title after winning the first 4 that they had been to, it's going to take a couple days, I think, and Spurs fans certainly have the right to feel like they had their heart ripped out. They were 28 seconds away from winning an NBA title. But when it comes down to it, give Tim Duncan his credit because he is one of the greatest NBA players that we have ever seen. And this, to me, does not do any damage to his legacy.